divine decides to
When the divine decides to make its advent upon earth, two very beautiful things happen. Mankind gets the opportunity to see God's love for man, but we also get the opportunity to see man's love for God, which the avatar intensifies. And we have all been very fortunate to witness this amazing, amazing phenomenon in our very own lifetimes. Someone who has had the unique blessing of observing this as very close quarters has been Mr. Satyam Chaudhary, or as he is fondly known to most of us, Satyam Uncle. Satyam Uncle's journey with Swami began in 1978. Over the last 35 years, he and his family have been the recipients of Bhagavan's ever-present love and grace. Satyam Uncle has had the unique fortune of serving Swami in many roles in the Sai organization since 1981, when Swami approved his induction into the USA Sai organization. He served as the center coordinator in Southern California. He has served as the center president of the Santa Cruz Sai Center, as the regional devotional coordinator and the regional president of our region here in Northern California, and also as the national devotional coordinator. He presently serves on the Satya Sai Council of America. With great love, on behalf of all of us, I now call upon Satyam Uncle to kindly come and share his reminiscences of the life and teachings of our Swami.
I'm going to offer some flowers at Swami's feet on behalf of each and every one of you here. Thank you, Ramesh. Probably one sentence would have sufficed. That we are also observing his birthday. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's moving from one room to another. That's about it. But I do recall last year, you all had asked me so kindly to say a few words a year ago, on I believe it was, Suzanne, was it April 30th? And at that time, I was just full of sadness and I didn't know what was happening. It was like the anchor was gone. The floor under my feet had been removed. And that was the extent of my attachment to the physical being of Swami. Because it is indeed a very enchanting and very beautiful form. It's hard to get away from that form. And believe me, I was present during that video clip that they were showing where Swami was saying that everybody has to go sooner or later. And my recollection of that, I was sitting very close to Swami during that discourse. My recollection is that he said, what are you going to do when this body is not there? Somehow I missed that in that clip. Maybe it's my imagination that I imagine Swami was saying that. But indeed, in spite of all those warnings and all those statements from Swami over the years, that we should focus on his universal form as opposed to his physical being, we were attached to the physical form. Certainly I was. And last year I was in this state of agony. And then as the time passed during 2011, things became calmer. And I was able to put to practice a teaching that has been made known to me for probably the entire 35 years, that the real form of Swami is the universal form. He is the form. There was a very nice clip there where it says Swami resides in our heart, and that is the real true story. Yet, how attached we were to that wondrous physical form. So anyway, I want to start with some quick. I have how many minutes? 15? Thank you. Not too long. So, I want to say that as I was preparing to leave for Prashanti this year, in February, to attend Shivratri, I've been attending Shivratri for many years, very fortunate to do that, and be close to Swami. All these trepidations came back to me. What's going to happen there? How am I going to absorb this new condition in Prashanti? And indeed, as I stepped into Sai Kulwant Hall and looked at that marble samadhi, I was filled with despair again. Again, the same thing happened. And it was so difficult. And yet, looking at that marble samadhi, which they decorate so gorgeously, beautiful flower decoration, exquisite is the real word to describe how they do that. Still, the same feelings came back. This feeling of separation. For a while, for actually a good 1 week, I was looking away from them. During the darshan, during the singing time, during the bhajan time, I would look away from the samadhi and look at the bhajan singers only and not look that side. It was difficult for me to even look at it. And I was just wondering what happened. Here I thought I had stabilized. The patient had stabilized. But the malady came back. So, after 7 days, strange things started happening. I was being invited to homes in Prashanti, around Prashanti, to see Swami's miracles that are happening starting last Guru Purnima, some 2.5 months after Swami's Samadhi. So many homes, it's amazing. And I was not asking for these visits. People are coming and saying, would you like to come and see what's happening? These are happening in homes in and around Prashanti, where devotees for the last 40 years have not seen any manifestation. Vibhuti pouring out. We're not talking about specks. We're talking about pounds, turmeric, haldi, all kinds of manifestation. In one home, Swami's instructions come in written form. All this started recently, where this particular family is being told exactly what to do during the day, who to meet, what to eat, every instruction. So, the conclusion was that foolish me, and I was thinking Swami is no longer with us. Swami is very much with us. In fact, in my humble view, in his universal form, he doesn't have the restriction of the physical body. He can go anywhere, anytime he chooses. And the place that he likes the most is our heart. Because he says, as the clip said a little while ago, that that's his permanent address. So then, my mind calmed down and I accepted the fact. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is this coming through? Okay. So I accepted the fact that, Swami is here, and it's been repeated so many times to me. Swami is here, we can hear him. And my conclusion was that he's really here at a much more intensive manner. He's getting things done at an intensive manner. And that was confirmed when I was able to visit Muddenhalli. Have you all heard about Muddenhalli? Muddenhalli is where one of Swami's campuses exist. In Muddenhalli, it started with the school, now it's a college too. And Mr. Narsimurthy is the principal. You must have heard of him. So he's having these amazing experiences in Muddenhalli. So we got together, a small group of us from here in Northern California, and we drove to Muddenhalli to really see what we could, and so to also talk to Mr. Narsimurthy. But the day we went there, Thursday, it was the bhajan night. And they hold this bhajan in the house they have constructed for Swami called Anandam. You all heard about it? It's on a hilltop, and it has a wondrous view around it. And there's a spiral driveway that drives, people can drive their car all the way to the home. It's in 2 stories. Lower floor is where Swami's living quarters is supposed to be, and it is, I shouldn't say that way. It is, and that's where the students sing bhajans every Thursday. And upper floor is Swami's bedroom. So that particular Thursday, we sat among the students, and I was reminded, many years ago, Swami had once given me permission to sit with the students in Trai Vrindavan in Bangalore, to sit among them and partake of that. And that feeling of in that closed environment where the students pour out and they just gather around Swami like bees around, beehives, and they're touching Swami while they're singing. They're holding his hand, they're tugging him, they're holding his robe, all kinds of things. So that kind of feeling I had. But unfortunately that day, the Thursday we visited Muddenhalli, there was a very famous singer from Bombay, Mumbai, who was visiting Muddenhalli. So Mr. Narsimurthy got busy in introducing me, and he gave a little concert himself, this particular singer. So we didn't have time to talk to him. But I was told that upstairs in Swami's bedroom, all kinds of things are happening. It started with Mr. Narsimurthy getting this dream vision of Swami last year, where he was instructed that get shirts and pants stitched for 1,200 students of the college and have it ready in, I think, a week or 10 days, something like that. And Mr. Narsimurthy, who's a humble man, stumbled and said to divine form of Swami, this ethereal form of Swami, Swami, I do not know anything about getting this thing done. I do not have the wherewithal. I do not know where to get the fabric and all this. And Swami says, I have already arranged it. People will come and meet you within a day. And lo and behold, these people have arrived, and they have all the materials needed, and they have the tailors ready, and the shirts and pants are stitched for 1,200 boys and girls, and they are made to wear that a week later, and they are given a feast according to the instruction. And it was done, not 1 penny of Muddenhalli College Trust Fund was used. So that was the beginning. But after that, things started happening. One day, Mr. Narsimurthy gets a vision that upstairs, in the vision, Swami is telling me, you have given me the bedroom upstairs, but the faucets are not working in the bathroom. Swami, faucets are not working? Yes, faucets are not working. So, we are all humans. And there is that lingering feeling inside that Swami's physical form is not there. It's just a symbol. And so next morning he runs to the upstairs bedroom and he checks in the bathroom, and the faucets are not working. So he gets them fixed. Another day, Swami appears to me and says, you put up these plates of food, they offer food to Swami in that room every day. I said, you put those plates of food in front of my picture, and you have put a dining table on this side. I'm sitting there, how am I going to reach the food? I don't have long arms. Like that. If you can believe it, the reason I'm sharing all this is to confirm that Swami is present. He's present in a form which, in my view, is freer and more active. Then, of course, the grandest story of all is he gets this vision in January of this year, where Swami says, Narsimurthy, go to Gulbarga. Gulbarga is a town north of Puttaparthi. Go to Gulbarga and I have this tract of land, and you buy that land for a campus, an additional campus of Sathya Sai University. And he said, Swami, I have never been to Gulbarga. I know nothing about lands and how to acquire them, and besides, I don't have the money. Swami says, all arranged. This happened in January. And he goes to Gulbarga, and these people meet him, they take him around the land, and the deals are signed, and someone there is present with a check, and it's all done. Then he gets another vision that starts the foundation stone on Shivratri night. I was present there, not in Gulbarga, but in Prashanti. So he goes to Gulbarga, and the foundation stone was laid on Shivratri. This is the way it is working. So what does it mean? It means that Swami's mission, Swami's divine mission, is continuing at full force. In fact, more full than ever. I don't know how many of you saw the press release from the Central Trust on 12th of April, where they listed the number of projects the Central Trust is involved with right now. And it's mind-boggling. New campus at Buddhanhalli, they talk about that. And they talk about multidisciplinary research center estimated to cost 8 crores. A crore is equal to 200,000 US dollars. So an 8 crores is 1.6 million US dollars. Like that, 25 lakhs for each school to install this Vidya Vahini, this computerized educational delivery system. Sathya Sai Medical, the Puttaparthi Super Specialty Hospital, the Bangalore Super Specialty Hospital, expansion plans costing 1.25 crores. A brand new hospital in Delhi, I can only imagine, it will be in tens of crores. I mean, I see this and I say, Swami's physical being is not there, but look at his work. His work is proceeding, and young adults, those who will be at forefront, you have work cut out for you. There will be work given to you until you will probably pray, Swami, no more. That much work is coming. That's what's happening. So Swami is present. Swami is here. Swami is in our heart. So, one of the favorite quotations I have of Swami that I want to read to you, where Swami says, do not posit distance between you and me. Do not interpose the formalities of the Guru-Shishya, preceptor-disciple relationship, or even the attitudinal distinction of the God-devotee relationship between you and me. I am neither Guru nor God. I am you. You are I. That is the whole truth. There is no distinction. That which appears so is a mere delusion. You are the waves. I am the ocean. Know this and be free. Be divine. So, that is the message. The message is to have this close relationship. There was a little video clip where P.V. Shankar talked about this, looking at God like a friend, making him friend. That is the technique. Many years ago, we were given another technique from Swami. He had said that imagine me in your heart. At first it is imagination. But as you imagine over and over and over again, that imagination will turn to reality. And you will be able to see. You will be able to see me there. And I also noticed that you have the theme for this afternoon's program, Shine the Light Within. Shine the Light Within is more than a theme. It's a prayer. It's a prayer. And I recommend, as I would do myself, to say that, Swami, shine the light within. Shine so I can see my way inside where you exist. Help me, show me so that I can see better. Talking about this Advaitic form of Swami, I want to play a song on this topic that Swami himself composed, beautifully rendered by Swami, and then I'll read the meaning of that song. Go ahead, SLN. Na punyam, na papam, na sokhyam, na dukkham, na mantra, na titham, na veda, na yajnam. Aham bhojanam, na bhojanam, naiva bhojyam, na gattu, sadananda rupam advaitam, satyam shivam sundaram, shivoham. Neither merit nor sin, neither pleasure nor pain, neither sacred mantras nor sacred places, neither Vedas nor yajnas or ritual. I am neither the eaten nor the eater and nor the act of eating. I am the ever blissful one, one without a second, Advaita. I am truth, goodness and beauty. I am that, I am that, I am that. Jai Sai Ram.
Ashem Vahu Vahishtem Asti Ushta Ahmai Hayat Ashai Vahishtai Ashem. One must lead a righteous life to get true happiness.
Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Pray for the peace of Israel. Pray for the peace of Ishmael. Pray for the peace of all the world. All shall live in peace. Shalom, 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 Yerushalayim. Shalom, 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 Yerushalayim. Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shalom, Yerushalayim. Pray for the peace of Israel. Pray for the peace of Ishmael. Pray for the peace of all the world. All the world shall live in peace. Shalom, 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 Yerushalayim. Shalom, shalom,
Salam alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah. May peace be upon you. In the name of God, the benevolent, the merciful. God is great. There is no being but God. Muhammad is the messenger of God.
Kar जीवन सहारे भक्त जनों के जीवन सहारे करो भगवान
Matthew 5, verse 43. You have heard that it has been said, Thou shalt love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless those that curse you. Do good to those that hate you. And pray for those that persecute you. For God gives his sunlight to both the evil and the good. And he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike. If you are kind only to your friends, how are you different from anyone else?
I hear God's music. I hear God's music from the highest mountains and from deep within. I hear God's music. I hear God's music from the highest mountain and from deep within. I hear God's music. I hear God's music from the highest mountain and from deep within. I hear God's music everywhere. I hear God's music in the air. 'Cause my heart and spirit are starting to connect. I hear God's music. I hear God's music from the highest mountain and from deep within. In this time of grace, we must lend a hand so that love can ring out in every land. I hear God's music. God's music from the highest mountain and from deep within. I hear God's music. I hear God's music from the highest mountain and from deep within. From God's God. I hear God's music from the highest mountain and from deep within. From the highest mountain and from deep within. From the highest mountain and from deep within.
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियेर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्य सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. The concept of submitting oneself completely to a supreme power is perhaps one of the most fundamental acts of true faith in any religion. Swami, whatever I do with my mind, body, speech, other senses of my body, my intellect and soul, all with my innate natural tendencies, O Lord, I dedicate and offer them to you.
Satya Sai Baba. नमो सत्य साई बाबा, नमो सत्य साई, नमो सत्य साई बाबा, नमो सत्य साई, नमो विश्ववेदा ज्योति स्वरूप, नमो विश्ववेदा ज्योति स्वरूप, नमो सत्य साई बाबा, नमो सत्य साई. अरुण कांतुल्लोला आरुपिंचनु अंतरंग अरुण कांतुल्लोला Satya Sai Baba, Namo Satya Sai. నిండులు తరులు వికసించేలో మనసుతలో పులకించినది నిండులు తరులు వికసించేలో మనసుతలో పులకించినది వరసగలిరచి ఒడలను మరచి వరసగలిరచి ఒడలను మరచి కదిలించుకోలేము నీ చెంతని. నమో సత్య సాయి బాబా, నమో సత్య సాయి, నమో విశ్వదేవా జ్యోతి స్వరూపా. నమో సత్య సాయి బాబా, నమో సత్య సాయి, నమో సత్య సాయి బాబా. At any time of day, morning, noon or night, we always sing Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, His name brings อิจมนิสกะสามรามกาสามรามกาสามรามกาสีรามรามกา
No other avatar ever made himself so freely available to one and all. From the lay peasant to the physically challenged, to the mentally and emotionally wrecked ones, to the despairing and the happy and the joyful too, to the artist and the politician, to kings and queens and heads of state, to sages and renunciates and seekers of truth in every land. No other avatar. As Satyam Uncle was sharing those beautiful stories of how Swami's presence is felt even more today, I was reminded of a quick story, hot off the press. In the state of Tamil Nadu, there is a devotee of Swami who has taken upon himself this avocation of going around from village to village, town to town in the state of Tamil Nadu, speaking of Swami in the very traditional storytelling form called Harikatha, a mix of music of Tamil Nadu, one that was seldom visited by civilized humanity, one where the tribes in the hills of Tamil Nadu lived. And in this particular little hamlet, he was speaking of the immense glories of Swami and talking about how Swami would cure anyone, Swami would come to anybody's rescue. All that was needed was just a sincere cry from the heart. And there was in this crowd a young man with a young family who was listening to all of this intently. Years rolled by. 6 months ago, this young man's family was befallen by a great calamity. His wife looked seriously ill. And he was struggling to find medical care for her. There was only a witch doctor in that little hamlet who tried his herbal remedies but to no avail. and this lady got sicker and sicker every day. The witch doctor finally gave up and said, you need to take her to the nearest town for medical care, otherwise she won't survive. And so this man puts his wife on a bullock cart and goes to the nearest town. And there the doctors say that she needs to be operated immediately, but 3,000 rupees for the surgery. And this man actually had sold all he had to even be able to afford the fare to take this bullock cart to the nearest town. Crestfallen, he comes out of the ward, sits on a bench there, and suddenly he recalls that years ago this man had visited his hamlet and said, if you remember him with a sincere heart, he will come to your rescue. And so, in the very innocent dialect of that land, he said, Ayya Varvad, my master will come. And so, seated on that bench, he cries out. In the next instant, he sees a 5'4" frame. Mind you, this is 7 months ago. A 5'4" frame of Swami walk into that ward and asking him, what do you want? This man is utterly awestruck. He doesn't know that Swami's physical form has moved on. He lives in a very remote part of the state. And he starts crying and pouring out his heart to Swami. My wife needs surgery. I don't have money. Please help me. That man said you help anyone who cries out to you with a sincere heart. Swami takes him by the hand, walks into the ward, materializes vibhuti, pours it into his wife's mouth, leaves an envelope, sealed envelope, on the ledge, and says, this is for you. And by the time this man walks over to the ledge to see what is in this envelope, he turns back and no more Swami. He opens the envelope, 3,000 rupees. Somehow the Sai Samiti members in that town come to know of this, and this news spreads like wildfire. And so, one of the senior devotees of Swami in the state comes to this town to investigate this. And this man says, Ayya Mandar, he came, the master came. If you don't believe me, ask all these people. Every single person, every single patient in that ward saw Swami come and bless. So not only is he there for those of us who have experienced him, who know him, untold stories of divine mercy and compassion continue to unfold every single moment. And how do we pay our debt of gratitude to this most sweet, loving Lord? It is but to follow in his footsteps, but to follow him to the ends of the earth, to follow him with all our heart, our mind, and our soul.
How can we live without Swami? We came back. On Ishwaramade, I got a message from